Let me actually turn off my preview, because if I don't turn off my preview, I'll be looking at the preview. Actually, I'm going to turn on the preview because I feel like if I see the preview, I'll feel here with myself. Now, my third video on this channel, it's very different. It's not your typical I'm playing games and going for the win. I had planned a trick shot series, but that's not really the plan anymore. Instead, I want to document my journey. I want to document my life. I don't want my life to feel like it's just up in the shadows. I don't know how often I do one of these videos. This is my teddy bear, by the way. You can't really see it. I don't know what their pronouns are, but people call it Ice Bear from We Bear Bears. I never really watched it, but my aunt got me this in 2023 when I went to Canada Lost. But I wanted to start off by being completely vulnerable about where I'm at right now. My name is Khaliq. I'm 20 years old. I often don't feel my age inside. I often feel a lot younger. And obviously, as it's obvious, I'm autistic. Not obvious, but I always say it. So that's one thing. I'm currently exploring my gender identity. I'm navigating problems with my mom. Obviously, don't really speak to my dad. I'm navigating problems with my self-esteem, feeling like I take up too much space and too scared to be myself. There have honestly been countless times I've done videos. I can go through it with you guys right now, actually. I'll open up another tab and I'll just show you the folder I have called Undecided. If you look at my display capture, here, these are 4 undecided videos I've done that sadly never made it to fruition because I did the videos, I was playing the game, trying to be productive and real and, fun, and I couldn't do it because I would just get so mad at hearing myself talk about my problems. I get really angry when I hear myself be vulnerable, when I watch it back, because the idea before was that my videos were something that I was going to watch. As much as it wasn't going to be something that I was just going to do for people, I see this now as documenting my journey and also being able to share it with you guys, but also it's documenting it for me so I can look at it at a, longer period of time. It's currently 11th of May 2025. I've been questioning my gender since late 2022. And sorry, I hope you guys don't hear the dogs out. Someone barking. I've been questioning my gender since like late 2022. So obviously to get to that point, I was with someone that obviously it had started off more sexually. Like it, when you're young and you watch certain things and you stumble on one of those little videos, this is hard, and then you keep it a secret for years, and then you meet someone that you feel like you trust, and then you explore certain things, and then you do little things like makeup and stuff. Yeah, that kind of shifted a lot of things, and then I started to internalize the fact that I didn't want to be a man. And then I spoke to like a school therapist when I was in college. We came to the conclusion of gender neutral. I wanted, early in my journey, I was like, I want to start HRT, I want to grow boobs and stuff. Then my aunt was like, do you even know if you want them? I was like, no, it just sounds cool. but I was scared as well, and I didn't want to say anything that made me. I've always been susceptible to shame and fear and just anger from like family and stuff, and like friends and people that know me. And then obviously I was cool for a bit. I was chilling. I went to Canada, and at this point I was still getting haircuts. I hadn't got a haircut for months, and then I got a haircut to go to Canada. Not an actual haircut, but just like a fade. And I don't know what happened, but while I was over there, I just had this one revelation where I got really depressed, and I was like, I want long, luscious hair. I want to be beautiful. And then I came back to the UK, and I felt very feminine. And then like my mum said to me, but you don't act feminine. And then that kind of crushed me down again. I had a very up and down journey. It's hard for me to talk about this. It's much easier on YouTube because I feel a little bit safer from people I know and the usual, oh, you're just fucked up in the head kind of crowd, or the whole roadman saying, oh, batty man kind of thing. But to be honest, I also think it's to do with age, like discomfort, because I feel a lot younger mentally, and trying to add the label of MAN, I don't want to say it because it makes me uncomfortable, to myself feels quite destabilizing. Yeah, kind of like in the adult self, or even just in myself in general, I do like having a female expression because it makes me feel good around people. But also, I know that trying to call myself a MAN, especially age and just societal kind of reasons, and in general, just self image reasons, is hard. So, yeah, it just from there kind of grew. I had the support of my mom and my sister. My sister tried calling me a sister a few times, and I just backed out of it. It feels nice, but now I'm also like scared. I don't think gender's everything though. I will say that gender is not the main issue. Like, I have that space now. I don't wear skirts and tights and stuff, which I like wearing tights, and like skirts make me look good. But the main issue is that I don't connect with people very well, and I haven't my whole life. I've always bent myself. I've always, changed for what people want me to be. So when I was a teenager, even with that, like I was trying to be hyper masculine, and I picked up drill music to fit in. I did drill beats. I did my beats in general. I enjoyed it for myself at one point, but then I liked that people liked my beats, and I thought that doing beats and doing drill beats and doing certain beats in school would put me up the ladder. So I became a drill producer. I did music videos, everything. And even that, I still don't feel is the main issue. I don't think that is something that immediately is something that's getting off my chest saying this. So I keep seeing something. I'm a bit insecure. I keep thinking like there's things on my lip and stuff. So if I keep licking my lip, there's a reason why I'm looking at myself. Because I feel connected to myself when I look at myself. But obviously in therapy, I prefer not to. Prefer to focus on what we're talking about. But yeah, I mean, I did music videos. I used to be a producer. I used to be an editor. And the editing identity I had was the closest version of myself, because people appreciated me being my raw self before I started to really bend. Obviously, I did get a bit of an ego. I thought I was good because I was the only 12-year-old COD editor, to do well. And over the years, I had a bit of ego death because I was still living off that, that coat trail of I was the 12-year-old editor that did so many good things. And, my clients got less and less. And then obviously, but I found it very hard to do videos for people. I liked editing and the traction I got. Not the traction, but I just liked connecting with people and people seeing like what I was doing and liking it. I liked the fact that people liked what I was doing, and that's what made editing worthwhile. Editing by itself wasn't, and doing client work wasn't. Obviously, client work became worthwhile in the end because it was like I was getting paid to do something that I was getting sent good clips. I actually enjoyed editing those. But also, I guess it put me back up to where I was. It was a bit of a clout booster, kinda. But yeah, I mean, I deleted my pages, everything. I deleted my producer page, I deleted my visuals page, I deleted my editing page, I deleted my music, which my music was used to tell my story as well, in last November, and I was never the same since. I honestly, for a while, tried to do music to exert my power again, and it was hard because no matter what I did, it's hard talking about this. I couldn't, because the music was never just for me. It was to tell my story and to feel still powerful in a world where I felt like my power had been taken away because I wasn't connecting to people. And now, along with this gender journey and feeling like people hated it so much and people would dislike me because of what I was doing, I felt even more disconnected. And doing the music and saying how I felt through the music was what connected me back, you know. And now I have an obsession with draw again because that just gives me power. I see people like my neighbors, you know. I have a neighbor that's a draw artist now. I have a neighbor that drives, two neighbors that drive, one that works for real estate. I have another one that works at a Wi-Fi company, you know. This is what I've heard though, but I'm just, you know, I do see them drive and live their lives, you know. I see another one going to work every now and then. See the other one, you know, he has his little business. Even though he's young, he has his little business. And I just see myself and I think, look at how much potential I had, you know. Look at how much I could have done. And I read so many stories about, you know, people who say, oh, people that discovered their identity through like more, you know, their gender identity through like more sexual advances at first, and then saying, oh, just quit looking at certain things and go to the gym and start talking to girls. And I just never was that person that was, you know, dominant and like went and tried to, was when I tried to approach girls, I'd bend myself and I would try and overly be a certain way. It wasn't who I was. Like, I wasn't that person that would go and try and be, you know, I don't explain it, but I wasn't that person that would try to, how to explain it, be the man. Like, I just was myself. Like, I admire women and I like them a lot, and I deeply appreciate the connection I have with women and stuff, but I just don't see myself doing a lot of the things that people say could save me from falling grace. There's a lot of shame I've built within my gender journey, and a lot of it has come from obviously gender stereotypes, gender roles, the fact that someone AMAB shouldn't be exploring their gender and should be just being a man, all that stuff. You know, I'd get told on games that my voice is so low, and I'm like, my voice is not low. My voice is so mid-tone. I speak literally like here. Most people that speak low speak from there. So, you know, I don't speak as low as I used to. I have voice notes I can show you guys of how much I bend myself with people. I can actually show you guys. I'd love to show you guys. I'll show you a few seconds. Let me go on my phone and show you. This video is 13 minutes long now, but it would be good for the documentation. So let me show you a voice note I sent to someone in 2022. It was a client. It's a client I had, and it was an example of persona mirroring. I was trying to sound hard, and also I was working with a drill artist, so I was trying to obviously sound like hard and like I fit into the community too. Just listen to how different my voice sounds.
Yo bro, what's it called? Sorry for the late rep. I've been a bit busy, especially with my Khaliq project. You see, I don't mind working with you. Like,
I was doing that type of stuff. Like, even look, I start saying I don't have no pasta with you. I know I'm very good at code switching. I'll tell you that.
I think my girlfriend knows you, bro. Like, my girlfriend was in a GC with you, innit? And apparently, like, back in the day, it was like a year ago, but back in the day, like, you man did not get along.
I sound like a totally different person. I was talking about my ex at the time. Apparently, the client I was working with knew that person, and they had like a whole argument and stuff. But I was like, oh, I don't have no pasta with you in it, but like, I don't know what to say about that. Like, I have the whole story about that shoot. I can tell you guys another time, but just to show you like I bend myself for everyone. When I see my neighbors, I represent who I was before all of this shit. When I'm around my area, I feel like I represent who I'm known as and who I was before all of this shit. But with a little bit of this, like freaking, for example, I have my nails done and shit, but that's even scary to show people. I put my hands in my pockets when I see people. I when I have full makeup on, I put my face down. I It's a lot of shit. So it's not even like I'm coming to the realization that I realize I made a mistake and shit. Like, no, I'm just scared. I think if I ever really fully explored it and I found, oh, this isn't for me and I'm actually cis, then cool. But because of the fear and all the things added to someone that is AMAB and exploring their gender, and the shame that we're supposed to feel by exploring more feminine styles of gender, or just even gender neutral or androgynous, or just the opposite of masculinity and what we feel is expected of us, then yeah, it gets hard. I only feel safe to go out my area and present a certain way. And even so, if I'm going to wear like a dress or something, I wear a long jacket. When I went to the queer prom, I have some pictures actually from it. Give me a quick second, I'll show you. Excuse me, I have to go through my drawer because the pictures are at the bottom. I kind of got a bit shameful of it, but like, let me just quickly show you guys. Oh, here you go. I guess this is like me just trying to be funny. Like, there's too much freaking reflection, but let me close the blinds because it's bothering it. Me trying to be funny. Oh, still can't see it, but. And then, like, obviously, then you have, like, I wasn't ready for this picture. So I'm just, like, there. And then, like, here's me trying to do a pose. And then I wasn't really ready for that picture. I felt really insecure in my face. And I tried to do something. I was really happy for this picture, but I felt, like, really insecure about how feminine I looked, or, like, trying to be overly, like, like, sauce and just quirky, or, like, I don't know. When I try and be a certain way, I feel like guilty of it and stuff. But yeah, I mean, the main thing I go through that's hard is I bend. I'm very shameful of the current journey I'm on, and it's hard because no one should have to feel like they're ashamed of their own decision to do a journey that serves them. It's not like I'm saying, oh, the journey is making me feel bad. It's how I feel when I'm around people that feels bad. The insecurity I feel that I should adapt into an old version of myself and that I can't grow around my own area, that feels bad. The fact that I feel happier at the idea of going to Canada and spend, which I still will do. I'm still gonna try and go just for a little while just to clear my head. It's little things like that that just make you feel like, I haven't decided when I'm going, but that's the dream. Just to go for a little bit, just to be able to be out this area and breathe. I know it's common for a lot of autistic people to change themselves for people, and it sucks. No one should have to do that. But I know for me, my whole life has been spent bending myself, even for my mum. Being afraid that if I disrespect her or disagree with her or not like what she's doing and say something about it, that I'll upset her and we won't speak for a few weeks, feeling like I have to reciprocate feelings that I don't understand, like love and saying I love people and hugging and stuff. I don't understand those feelings very well, and I want to just say my truth here. I don't want to just end the video just because it's been 19 minutes. I want to just say it all. And, if it gets to someone that understands it, then at least I feel like I'm not so bad just being myself, Obviously, me and my mum, we didn't speak for like 2 weeks. And obviously, I'm not a saint. I said certain things that upset her, but it's easily triggered if she says something that just irks me the wrong way, or her tone or something, or it just makes me feel bad. I always feel like I'm betraying her talking online, but I just want to be real about where I am in my life right now. There's that. There's a fear of being outside of people and not being misunderstood. There's my mom, who is my safe space, and I think a lot of the reason why I don't feel like I've grown up, that, and also growing up feels quite lonely, and I hate being alone. I just feel better when I'm with people or I'm around people. I just thrive when I'm with people that understand me and make me feel happy. Um, and this confusion, like, where's my life going? What job do I do? What am I going to do for the rest of my life? Like, there's that. Like, I just haven't felt the exact interest everyone else has felt in most jobs. When I was in school, I just did school. I didn't feel fully interested in it. Like, I was good, don't get me wrong. I was quite academically gifted, but I wasn't fully interested unless it was like computing, where you got the little PC parts, and I love the little things like that. Like, I love it. Like, I hate coding though. That's why I didn't go into IT. I tried in college and I hated it. I hated the coding. I hated the HTML. I hated the spreadsheets. I just liked the PC parts. That was the only part of IT I liked. Um, and yeah, I have my special interests. I just feel like sometimes it feels like the world it doesn't make much space for people like us. It's like we have to pick what everyone else is doing, or we need to be special. And if you're in the middle zone where you don't exactly want to do something you hate, but then you have to survive, well, I'm just thankful I have a roof under my head, and my mum is allowing me to stay here. She doesn't have to, and I'm thankful for that. And I overwork myself a lot. I don't do loads and loads of chores, but I will still, like, even if like it's not all my dishes, I will go and I'll just feel bad for being me, or being who I am, or being annoying, and I'll go and just do all the dishes just to exert power again. Or like, my mom will like go upstairs for bed after she's on, like, when she has work next day, and the dishes would be full, and I'll just do the dishes because I feel like I have to. It makes me sound really entitled, so I don't want to sound like that, but like, the dishes became a way of exerting my power and feeling like I'm capable, when I feel like every time I've tried to do what the world has told me will give me power or will make me capable, or what I was told I was good at, I couldn't do it again. So doing the dishes was the only way of proving that I was a good child, or I was good, you know? Or bringing down the rubbish without being told, or bringing in the bins and little things like that, like doing the things that my mum had encouraged me to do as a child, but now I'm doing it because I want to prove that I'm a good kid again, because I internalized that I'm like bad, or like I'm not a good person. And that's because of a lot of things that happen in my life, not being able to connect to people, having different beliefs, being really sensitive to criticism because of the way I interpret criticism as being an attack to myself, or people just being mean, being told to change myself or do things, that make me unhappy or make me overstimulated, or breach who I am completely just to change myself, you know, or being told that the path I'm on is wrong, not that people directly telling me that, but reading that online, going on Reddit, doing posts, being told the complete opposite of how I feel, or reading. I have done so much research in the last few months. I went from distracting myself constantly to hating distractions. I needed the void to be not filled, but just to be fulfilled in a happy way, or to be replenished, not filled with just something empty, but replenished, or healed, and that's what this current journey is about, where I am currently. And I didn't think this isn't as hard as I thought, now that I'm seeing it as documenting my current journey and where I am, and just being open. And I like this form of video without the gamers in the back, because I really don't like games. I can't distract myself, or I hate distracting myself. I will never do that again, but I can't spend my day playing games because I don't enjoy it. And I've been on antidepressants before, and distracted me from the real issue, because the issue was my incongruence, both with gender, the way I'm perceived, gender roles, societal roles, people. It wasn't just a genuine feeling of depression for no reason. It's caused by something. So I hope that, you know, I can share this, and then, you know, I don't know what comes from here, but I hope I can look back someday and say, wow, I came far, or I'm more myself than I ever was. I don't want to bend myself anymore. I don't want to be someone else anymore. I just want to be me, but I don't know how that looks. So, yeah. But if you did watch, thank you. Please leave comments based on what you think, or if you like to ask me any questions, because I will answer the next video, or anything. Because I appreciate your words. I appreciate community so much. So I appreciate being around people and feeling like my life is present around others. So I hope that together we can build that. But thank you again, and I hope you all have an amazing rest of your day. And for those that watch this, yeah, as I said, please let me know what you think, and I'll catch you in the next one.